It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
What's up, everybody? Today we're going to do a little bit of a different kind of video. We're going to be showing off some of my baby hatchlings, but I also wanted to just kind of show video of the snakes and the progression of what genes do in the albino and the candy combination. And so the problem that a lot of people have is the albino is, even though it's a very inexpensive snake, it's very impressive. Who would have thought that taking out black pigment would create such a beautiful snake? Where there used to be black, now there's white. Where there used to be brown, now there's yellow. Where you used to have dark eyes, now you have red eyes. Goes on and on and on. Now there are some things you can do to albino, like black pastel or add GHI, and it really makes the ball python a lot brighter. But when you try to add genes like fire or pastel or yellowbelly, the difference is pretty small, and for the untrained eye can be really hard to see. And so that can be a challenge, but that was before the candy gene came out. The candy gene came out, and when you add candy to the albino, you can create amazing snakes. As babies, they look almost identical to albino, but as they age, they mature and develop and change just like we do. And so I thought that would be kind of fun. So let's dive into the albino candy ball python combos that I hatched this season, and hopefully we'll get an idea about what I'm talking about. All right, so for this video, let's go ahead and take a look of one of my breeder males. This is one of my breeder males. See if I can get it to focus in on him. He is a Candino. He is a Candino ball python. Very good temperament. Very beautiful. He's actually looking for a new home. I don't need him for my breeding projects anymore. He's been a fantastic breeder. That's not really the focus of the video. I do want to show him off a little bit. Beautiful colors. Where there's this darker pink color in albino. Well, let me just go put him back, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so how you make Candinos is you have to have one albino gene and one candy gene, and they combine and make the Candino. And I thought we could just go ahead and look at his offspring. Let me just pull up this file here on my computer. Here we go. And just take a look. Okay, so here we have an albino, just straight up albino ball python. That's his baby. The mom is a straight albino. And this baby obviously is very beautiful. You can see it's got just very stark difference between the yellow and the white. The white is very white and the yellow is very yellow. Just a beautiful example of what albinism and snakes can do. So now that we've seen that, let's go ahead and jump in to see what let's see what a Candino baby looks like. Okay. Here we go. We've got one of his babies. Now, the camera might not be picking this up great, but just so you can kind of understand what I'm talking about, the white is more of a pink, lavender, purplish type of color. It's very subtle as babies, but after they shed and as they grow up more and more, it develops and it turns into that more of that lavender color. And this is another one of his babies. Very, very beautiful. Good temperament as well. But you can kind of see just a little bit difference between that one and this one, where you have more of the white from the albino coming through. Albino and Candino. So now I want to go ahead and look at what an albino pewter is, because I produced albino pewters, I produced Candino pewters and Candino cinnamons. So let's just take a look. So here's an albino pewter. Very beautiful, a little bit more washed out coloring, more white coming through. The yellow is a lot more subtle, a little bit more washed through, but beautiful nonetheless. Very white, very high contrast between the eye coloration and the white scalation of the snake. Cute little snake. This is his offspring as well. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's next. What's next is we've got I can either show you the Candino cinnamon or the Candino pewter. Let's just do the Candino pewter right now so you can see what the difference between the two, between the albino pewter and the Candino pewter is. Now here's a Candino pewter. It still looks a little bit more washed out, but it's less white in comparison with the albino. So this little baby is very, very awesome. I love this baby. Very, very cute. I'm going to be honest. I like the albino and Candino cinnamons a little bit more than the pewter. Pewter, of course, is when you add cinnamon and pastel. So I like it. I like the Candino cinnamon a little bit more, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. But nevertheless, this is just a beautiful animal. Great temperament, eating well, but more of that lavender coloration coming through. So just an awesome little snake. Okay, so let's get to the creme de la creme. What my favorite snake baby that he hatched this year, that he sired this year, and that is the Candino cinnamon. Here we go. Now, I don't know if the camera is picking this up. Probably not as much as I'd like. But you can see a lot more contrast between the yellow and the lavender-ish coloration coming through. I mean, when you see this in person, the coloration is almost like fluorescent. It's so beautiful. This was one of my goals to make. That's the mom is an albino pewter, and I wanted to see what the Candino pewter cinnamon is like. You can see, just very, very beautiful, high contrast coloration coming through. More of a neon fluorescent coloration. So that's kind of the progression. You start with the albino and the Candino together. You add some cinnamon and you get combinations of both albino and Candino, and you make these beautiful babies. So I am very excited to have shown you some of these babies. I do have Candinos, albinos, Candino pewters, and cinnamons available on my morph market. But yeah, hopefully that gives you an idea. Some of the thinking that I had in my mind. If the video isn't picking up, maybe you could find some pictures of Candino cinnamons and what they really look like, because they're quite beautiful. The albino cinnamons are amazing too. So anyways, this has been another video with Clutch Pythons. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you'll subscribe and join me in the future. Until next time, thanks guys.